Hey friend, it's Jayma here, and exciting news. The Volume 6 12 by 12 sketchbook is officially hot off the presses. I have mine printed. I've done a couple layouts with sketches from here already, but this is now my official collaboration video using one of the sketches. And this is the one I selected. I found some birthday pictures from a few years ago of my son in my camera roll when I was just flipping through, and I was like, oh, those are super cute. And then when I was looking through our new book, this one really screamed birthday to me. Plus, I'm super excited to use these new Balloon Festoon stamps and dies. Look at these dies, they're so awesome. All of the graduating sizes, that's going to be so fun. And all of this, like, you know, you don't have to do exactly the embellishments that the sketch tells you, but this just all screamed birthday to me. And I was able to fit my photos in the configuration that they have them. The only exception is this one is going to be a 3x4 instead of a 4x4 because I just didn't want to crop this. He loves stamping and crafting and scrapbooking too, and he made his little thank you cards for his birthday gifts. And so you can see it here. He was very proud of himself, and he stamped it all himself. He had all of the ink pads lined up in front of him. Hopefully you can see there's blocks with stamps in front too. So he was just going down the line and stamping everything and made his thank you cards. So I've got the whole thank you card assembly line over here. And then this side is his birthday morning and lunch. He got to pick what he wanted. Isn't that so cute? I couldn't decide between these. Of course, this one he's like looking and smiling, but this one's pretty darn cute too. So he chose pizza for his birthday lunch. So these photos are going to fit perfectly right there. All right, as far as paper, I was looking through my Stampin' Up paper that I have under my desk. If you missed my little under desk tour in my last video, I showed how I organized my paper and put away all the new stuff and all that. But I was looking through all of my paper files and I saw this one. It was actually in the front of this pack. And I was like, how perfect is that for the pizza? I think that'll look really good with the pizza. I want to try to use it so that I get both colors, like red and orange, or red and yellow and orange kind of. So that could be an option. So this pack is garden poetry, and there's like botanical on one side, and then the other side is like a watercolor look, but each sheet is kind of like its own color. So there's just like purples and then oranges and blues. So there's not one that brings in a whole bunch of colors. So there aren't any others that'll work with this. But then I was looking through my Close to My Heart paper because I remembered this pack, and I think even though it's not an exact match, like this yellowy color is going to look good with this kind of yellowy orangey color. So let's see what I have in here. I know I don't have a full pack because I've used a lot of it. I could use some of the stickers. So this one is super fun. That could work. Let me actually bring this to the side so I can see these with all the pictures, or some of the pictures. That could be an option. And I have another half sheet. I have a full sheet, but I think that's all I have. I was thinking maybe it could be like this outline, but there's really not a lot of that showing. So if I bring in a white sheet and kind of have it like that, you really don't get much of a sense of what that pattern is. So I feel like it's a little bit wasted if I use it in that way. I have this one with the sprinkles. The only thing I don't like about this paper, and I think the reason why I don't think I've even used it at all, because I have another sheet of it, is because it's got an off-white background, and everything else in this paper pack is white, so I'm not sure why they did that. I could try it. Maybe I could just kind of make it blend. I don't really want this one because that's too much pink. We have these ones, but that's more pink than I want also. So I do have these 3 patterns that I can play with, and I think I want a little more blue. I think I might try Bluebird for the outline around the whole thing, because I feel like that would really work nicely with the other papers. I do like that because there's a lot of blue in here. And then I found this one. This is an old paper. I think it was called I Heart Us, and it kind of looks partyish. I think that could work. So if I play with these patterns, of course, these all look good together. This one I think I can make it work. It doesn't look as good as these ones do. It's just kind of a different style. But kind of what I was thinking is maybe I could make these ones be my background pages, and then I could cut this out of the balloons, because that's a really good way to use busy paper, is to cut it into die cut shapes so that you don't have it like overwhelming. So I could use, maybe this one goes in the middle and this one goes on the outside. So then we've got blue, and then the red, orange, and then this one here. And then this one repeats just one other time over here. And then this one repeats here. So I don't know, maybe I want to switch these up. I might play with this a little bit more off camera, but then I don't necessarily want the blue on the outside closest to this blue. So I don't know, maybe something like that. I'll play with it a little bit. And then this could be the pattern that brings in all the colors together. This one kind of does too, but it's a smaller print. This one could be the one that brings in everything together. And I think the balloons being in this could be good, and maybe a couple in these other ones too. So I'm gonna play a little bit off camera and then we'll see what I end up with. Okay, here we are. I'm liking this configuration and I love that cascading look going down the page. So one thing I did, because if you look at this, we've got trimmed photos. I did not trim my photos down. They are full 4x6. What a trimmed means is you cut it down by about 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch so that the mat actually is the true 4x6 size. But I did not cut mine down. Plus I did a double mat instead of a single mat. So what I did is all of these pieces, I just added 1/2 inch on each side. So I cut them each 1/2 inch larger, and I think that worked out pretty well. So remember over here, this was supposed to be a 4x4 photo. So I did still cut it according to that size, and then I just tucked it under however far I wanted it to go. The sketch does still have it sticking out a little bit extra here, and I probably have it sticking out a little bit more than that, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And then I've got a bunch of dead space, actually my closet, that's kind of a hot mess that I want to hide anyway right there. So I can just overlap this photo on top, and it worked out pretty good. So the one thing I want to do though is ink the edges of my papers, especially because this one is like off-white on white. I don't want them like right next to each other. So I'm just going to add a little bit of inking around. Now, one of the nice things about these felt type pads, this is a close to my heart pad. This Archival Black is still my very favorite ink pad. I absolutely love it, even though it's just a hot mess. But you can really easily go paper to ink like this. I've found that with the Stampin' Up ink pads that are the cushy foam, you can't do this as well for a couple of reasons. First of all, they're a lot more juicy, so sometimes it goes in further than you want it to. And second of all, it puts lines in your pad, so it kind of ruins the pad. So I was doing that in the beginning when I first joined Stampin' Up, because I was used to that with these close to my heart ink pads, but it just doesn't work quite the same. So I like being able to take the ink pad and going straight against the paper. It just gives a little bit different look than taking a foam pad or foam ink blender against the paper. This gives I don't know, it's just a little bit different look. It's a little harsher, it's a little bit skinnier of a line too. And so, you know, Stampin' Up is going to be getting these ink pads soon. The end colors are already in this type of ink pad. So although I do have to admit, I love the Stampin' Up ink pads. I've gotten really used to that foam, and I think that they stamp really, really nicely. But this type of pad is so much easier to open, which, you know, that magnetic case is just so easy, especially for a lot of people who have arthritis. This is going to be so much nicer. But one of the nice things also is you can more easily go ink to paper. So I'm going to do this for all of the pages. Okay, everything is glued down. I like the inking, and I cut a ton of balloons from the Balloon Festoon dies. I cut every size of these. Did I cut the biggest one? Yes, I cut one of the biggest ones. So I just cut a ton in all different sizes. I did this one first because, like I mentioned, I want this busy hero paper to be what really pulls everything together. It's got all the colors, and since it's busier, having it cut into a shape kind of helps it to not, you know, take over and be as busy. A lot of times busy paper is hard to work with, so that's something that can help. And I was starting to kind of play around with the placement, and I had this kind of up here. I was thinking maybe even my title could go on here, except that I think it'll get lost because this is busy. And then I had this down here, but I really want to keep the integrity of this cascading look because I'm really drawn to that. So instead of having this up here, I'm thinking I'm going to kind of tuck it, and I should have left myself a little space between the edge of the photo and the glue, but that's okay. So I think I'm going to tuck it a little closer, and then this one, have this be maybe tucked under a little bit, and then have the balloons sort of in a cascading manner as well. So let's see, maybe have one here and one up here. And then to balance this, I feel like maybe we need something about here. I really like that. I tried to sort of strategically cut these smaller ones so you can still see some of the party elements. So maybe that there. You could definitely stop right here with the balloons. I really like the look with just that really vibrant pattern paper, bringing everything together. But I love a lot of embellishments, and I really wanted to play up this cascading look. And I just had this vision of lots of balloons going all the way across the page. So I'm bringing in lots of balloons and drawing them down, and what I'm trying to do is spread all of the colors out so that they are balanced across the page. And one of the things that helps in making sure you're balanced is doing things in visual triangles. So that doesn't mean you necessarily have to have only 3 embellishment clusters on your page, but if you look at my green balloons right now, which by the way, that paper's from the Turtley Sweet scrapbooking kit, you can see that on the left we've got a balloon up kind of high and then drawn a little bit over to the right and then down again to the sort of central left lower area. And so it's creating a visual triangle. And then on the other side too, we've got a visual triangle of the balloons. So even though currently I do have 6 balloons, so it's not necessarily an odd number, there's 3 on each page and they are forming visual triangles. So that's just something, if you're thinking that your embellishing looks a little off, make sure that your colors form a visual triangle. And I think that just that one little tip will really help you out in whatever scrapbook layout you're working on. So now I've got all my balloons down and I'm pulling out this stamp set. This is a retired set from Close to My Heart. It's called A Slice of Happy. I love the pizza with the birthday candles. It is so old, but it also is my son's favorite stamp in my entire collection. He uses it all the time when he creates birthday cards for his friends. I'm actually surprised that he didn't use them on these thank you cards, although they could have been stamped on the inside. That's very possible because he pretty much always pulls that stamp set out. So I know that white space is part of a design principle, and you know, the white space around this layout probably is very appealing to a lot of you, but I struggle with too much white space, and I don't know what it is. I just, you know, I like a little white space, but I just felt like I needed a little something more around the balloons. It was just a little too much white space. So I decided to add a little bit of ink blending, and you saw me test it out first on some scrap paper. That's a great way to decide if you want to do ink blending, is blend it onto some scrap paper and then just hold it up where you're thinking of doing it. So I decided to do both the bluebird and the green. The green is actually garden green from Stampin' Up, because that matches the green balloons. And so I decided to do both colors and just have a little bit of a hint poking out from some of the balloons, and not all of them. I'm showing you this page on the right on screen, and then I ended up doing the same exact thing over on the left. And then again, well, first of all, I just really love splatters. I love the look. These are shimmer brushes, so they add shimmer and splatter. And I was thinking I want just a little bit more black. Black is a great way to ground bright colors. So you saw that I used black mattes around my photos, and then I wanted a little bit of black sparkle splatter around here. Now I went a little heavier handed than I was thinking I wanted. So in the end, I think I have a little bit much of the splatter, but that's okay. I still really like the end result. And I like that, how it just sort of subtly fills the white space. And then I also added some of these black acrylic stars from my stash. They were also from close to my heart. I love using up my stash, don't you guys? It felt really good to use quite a bit of my close to my heart stash here. Although, trust me, I still have plenty, but still feels good, right? For my title, I decided to add it over on the left side of the page. I just prefer my titles being over on the left side, and if you recall, the sketch called for it to be over on the far right, like where the biggest balloon is. But I think it works really nicely here, and I used the mini alphabet die set from Stampin' Up, and so it fit really perfectly there. I like how the bottom of the alphabet lines up with the bottom of that photo mat over on the page next to it. And then there was kind of an awkward space left, so I pulled an arrow sticker from the sticker sheet and filled that in. And then I also pulled several other stickers from that sticker sheet. Now I had already used quite a few of the stickers from the sticker sheet, so there weren't a ton that worked, but there were a couple of these little wordy bits, some little itty bitty stars that worked, and so I just scattered a few here and there, and then I'll end up adding another one off camera as well that you'll see in my final share that'll go above the photo of him holding up the card. And then this little cake was also in the Turtley Sweet scrapbooking kit, and it was just too perfect not to use, so I found a little spot for him and stuck that on some thin 3D foam tape. Well, here is the finished layout. It is bright and chaotic, maybe a few too many splatters, but I love it. So I ended up not really using these ties, these balloon strings. I used just the tie part right here, but I felt like if I had it hang down, it just disrupted that diagonal flow that we have too much, and I didn't like that. And I did add one more here and then just tucked it behind the photo. But I think one of the nice things about these balloons is you don't really need it. You can use it with or without. And I have so many balloons that it's kind of like, well, which ones do you put them on and which ones do you not? And it would have got even more chaotic. So anyways, let me bring it up for a closer look. I did add these with little itty bitty glue dots. That works well with the acrylic pieces. And I would love to know if you have volume 6 of the sketchbook yet and what you think. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you don't have it yet, you can find a link to all of the CDT sketchbooks down in the description. Just click that more link below this video. It will expand the description and you'll see that link plus all of the supplies that I use that are still available. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up so YouTube knows and can share it with more people. If you'd like to see the other videos from the Creative Design team, you can click the playlist on the right. And if you'd like to see another one of my videos, that is on the left. And either way, I'll see you over there. Bye.